All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people out there just like you, just like me. So, I'm going to talk about why the damn Yankees won't get back together again or why they're not getting back together again. And it's the same thing when it comes to why Dennis DeYoung isn't reuniting with Styx. It's kind of the same person holding things up. And so I'm going to talk about that. Before I do that, album of the week right here. This is Colin James, Chasing the Sun. Just a fantastic blues rock album. This won't be played on any of your favorite rock stations, won't be heard on classic rock stations, won't be heard on mainstream rock stations. I'm going to talk about the mainstream rock charts back in 1992. But today, 30 years, 30 plus years later, there's no room. I guess there's no need for a great rock album like this. It's blues and rock, which in the old days we used to just call rock and roll, right? But now, everything's in a category. Colin James, just a fantastic guitar player. And so is Uncle Ted. Ted Nugent has weighed in on the possibility of a damn Yankees reunion. They talk about this a lot because I think people would love to see these guys go out there. He says, "We'd love to go back out. We're very proud of the music," the singer said. Just killer quality, soulful, energized, tight, authoritative, damn Yankees music. Ted says, "I love those guys." Then he says, "It's not off the table. It's highly unlikely, but it's also highly desirable. So it would have to be an alignment of the planets where the four of us who have just maniac schedules, which is just bizarre to me, somehow we could find a whole whatever amount of time, 30 days or whatever." And Ted says, "I'd love to do it." Michael Cardellone is with Lynyrd Skynyrd these days. Jack Blades is still in Night Ranger. Ted is just on his own and not touring as much as he used to. And of course, Tommy Shaw is in Styx. Now, every time they ask Tommy Shaw about damn Yankees, he says this: "I think we kind of ran that thing until the wheels fell off of it. And I'd like to just keep it like that," Shaw said. It was a fantastic run. So you wouldn't do like a 30-day reunion, Tommy? That's just weird. We made those two records. The first record, that was the bomb. He used a different word. The second record, it just started to lose the thing that it had on the first album. And I think everybody else knew that it was probably time to go back to your regular job. Now, at the time, Tommy Shaw didn't have a regular job, if you remember. Styx was still broken up, and they had just put out an album without Tommy Shaw. So just saying it was time to go back to your regular job. What was that regular job? A couple years later, Styx would get back together again. Okay, so I guess that's going back to his regular job. But let me make a point about the second album, because there's a lot of revisionism that comes along as time goes by. Everybody's going to say, well, that second album really sucked, and this is why Damn Yankees broke up. Well, no, the second album was really good. Where You Going Now was a huge MTV song. Hit number 20 on Billboard. Number 20. Hit number 6 on mainstream rock. The title track, Don't Tread on Me, hit number 3. Silence is Broken hit number 20 on mainstream rock. And then the final single, which was released in 1993 called Mr. Please, hit number 3 on mainstream rock. In 1993, when bands like Mr. Big and Firehouse and Extreme, all of them were basically being told to go pound sand, that you weren't really needed anymore. So these guys were still able to hit number 3 twice and number 6 with Where You Going Now, which the guitar intro on Where You Going Now is as good as anything on the first album. All right. And I would argue if you put these albums, if they fit on one disc, they play very nicely together. Ron Nevison, who is a producer genius, I think, produced both of the albums and did a spectacular job. Ron is always great for his crunch and his clarity. Very clear, very sharp production values, the way he produces, and you can hear it. And really kind of refined Uncle Ted to sound like a mainstream rock guy instead of this crazy psychedelic blues, um, soulful thing that Ted does. But I think they restrained Ted to some degree, and they really got a lot out of Ted Nugent. But again, you had Jack Blades and Tommy Shaw. This was a great band. Michael Cardellone, he's just a great drummer. And so Tommy Shaw, I don't know what you're talking about, man. As usual with Tommy Shaw. You know, I hate to dump on Tommy Shaw, but, you know, he's the reason that Dennis DeYoung isn't reuniting with Styx. And this would be what? A 30-day event? Go get your tickets for Damn Yankees. That's a show I would go see. That's a show I would definitely go see. And I think a lot of people would see it because Tommy can still sing. Jack can still sing. I think they've both lost a little bit, but I don't think it would be too embarrassing to see everybody up there. And to see Uncle Ted in a rock band again would be just really cool. I don't understand why he's dumping on the second album. Like the truth here is that grunge came along, Tommy, and basically you weren't going to do a third album at that point, even though you had a lot of success. By the way, the first album went double platinum. The second album went gold, which was a pretty big deal at that time to still put out that type of music and get to what, 500K in sales. You can't do that today with albums. You won't sell an album like that ever again. If you're one of these older rock bands. So just trying to, you know, put things into perspective, why there isn't a Damn Yankees reunion. Tommy says they ran it into the ground. Ted says people would love it, that it's needed, but it's unlikely. And so there probably won't be a Damn Yankees reunion, just like there won't be a Styx reunion with Dennis DeYoung. And you can thank Tommy Shaw. Look, the guys in Styx, the current lineup, they have a good thing going right now where, you know, they sell out shows, and it doesn't matter really who's in the band at this point. They could replace JY. They could do a number of different things, and I'm pretty sure people would show up so long as Tommy is fronting the band. I don't know. I think fans would really love to see Damn Yankees, and they'd love to see Styx with Dennis just for maybe, I don't know, a handful of shows, just to give fans some closure, to give Dennis closure. But that's not going to happen. So I'd like to see it still happen. That's why I'm doing this video. And as far as Damn Yankees goes, just a great, those two albums are just, that's the kind of music that I could still listen to. And it sounds so good on your stereo. This guy, too, putting out great music, Colin James. Not at all like Damn Yankees. This is more blues, rock, traditional, old school rock. Damn Yankees, more of a just a glossy melodic rock band with high production value. This still sounds great, though, so you should check it out. Chasing the Sun, because back in the day, you could have like the Damn Yankees on the radio and guys like Colin James and Robert Cray and certain blues people, and it was okay. Everybody kind of played together, and now you have to have dark and sort of depressing music as the general theme if you're going to go listen to a rock station, which is quite depressing, not only to listen to, but to talk about. All right, folks, I'm done with this video. Thanks for watching. Please support this channel via Patreon, YouTube memberships, and Buy Me a Coffee. Things always happen when we start a new month, so I need some new folks to replace the old folks. And if you'd like to support just $1 a month, $2 a month, whatever you can afford, also buy me a coffee. I really appreciate that. And YouTube memberships one more time. Thanks again. See you soon.